welcome to
Welcome.
the I don't even remember our podcast name. Great.
Save the
Welcome to
plot.
Save the Plot. Save the Plot podcast. Today what are we talking about, Fabiana?
Okay,
Tell them.
so we have a great bad movie to talk about. Kissing
That's a great
Booth
way to say it.
2.
Kissing Booth 2. Okay, so where do you think should we start our discussion of this movie?
So maybe we could start by the things that annoy us.
That we like. Nothing.
Zero.
If we are talking about things that we like, I'm gonna say Noah Flynn. I don't know who the actor name is. I'm gonna Google that right quick. That guy is fine. You know, like if he's in more of the scenes, I'm gonna put it as a 10 out of 10. I think for movies like this, I know what they're trying to do. It's usually either Noah Sentimental or, like it's the typical, like good-looking guy so that you would watch.
Yeah. I guess also because of the audience, I guess this is more targeted to teenagers, right? But
Yes.
even so, sometimes it's just really ridiculous, like the way they try to make fun of things, and they really rely on physical comedy and gags like that, where everyone is falling and everyone is just like, I don't know, making things like a mess. And I don't know, like a couple of times okay, but then are you really gonna use all of that every time? So to me, it wasn't funny. I don't know.
I love how we just segue into the things that we like
Yeah.
immediately, things that we don't like. But that's fine. I think this will come up into our conversation later, but
Yeah.
this is another point that I would like to make about this movie. It seems like a mishmash of a lot of the other teen dramas, rom-coms, whatever you want to call it. That's one of my biggest problem with it, especially as it also meshes itself up with the previous movie. It's like they were kind of aware of it, but it's kind of like the same, but it's a bit different. For me, it wasn't different enough for you to make a second movie, especially if you're gonna mishmash that with the first movie, especially towards the end when like it was exactly the same as P.S. I Still Love You.
Okay.
Yeah, To the Boys That I Love Part 2. Like the ending was exactly the same. Marco Peña in this case, it's like the black guy in the other movie. I mean, they both are, of color, and then they were both having similarities with the main character, and yet the main character still goes for the first guy.
Yeah.
And then they would say it's always been you, but it's like since when?
And it reminded me of, I think I told you before, the Twilight movies, how they try to make the first guy or girl you ever meet to be the last one, I guess. Like there's no...
Kind of, yeah. It's kind of what they're advocating for.
Yeah. And it looks a little, I don't know, a little forced. Sometimes, it's like, okay, you have been through all of this, but you are going to still go back to this guy just because, I guess, it was the first guy. But yeah.
Exactly. Like even in the beginning, right? Like let's go towards like more of the, like film theory things that we know as we were film students. And one of the things that they always tell us is that the main character needs to be, if not likable, at least like sympathetic. Like you should be able to at least sympathize with them if they're like an anti-hero or something. Like with Elle, to me, she's just kind of like there was nothing that I liked from her as a main character.
I mean, I think this is nothing bad. It's just that I thought maybe she would be a better character if she had more struggles. But she was too positive for me.
If I can add off topic, I mean slightly.
No, it's okay.
Like the beginning when they were talking about UC Berkeley, it sounded like a UC Berkeley ad for a second.
And for us, when it comes to college, that means the University of California at Berkeley. UC Berkeley is this totally dope, completely amazing school in Northern California. Lee and I have dreamed of going there ever since we found out that's where our moms became besties. It has a really cool tower, hill rolling for good luck, famous Insta squirrels, and a pool.
It's like, did UC Berkeley favor
Yeah.
this? Like, that's literally
That's
what I wrote in my
true.
note. UC Berkeley ad? Like, what?
Yeah.
It was really weird because the beginning of the movie was all montages with the narration.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started on the montages.
Oh my god. Those were forever.
It went forever. The beginning went forever. And then after that, it wasn't enough. More UC Berkeley montages. It's like, we don't need this. And then it was a 2-hour movie. That's, oh my god. That's another
That
thing.
was, yeah. I thought I was watching a documentary. I think I told you. That was just, it was
a bad documentary.
A bad documentary.
How would you raise the stakes for her then?
That's a good question here. I would say to put her in more of those like university application struggles that she was supposed to be having, because she was trying to apply to many other universities, right? Especially in Boston, I think, or
in Boston, because she wanted to be with Noah.
Yeah,
he's fun as hell.
Exactly. And so, we never. I think she only went for one that was close to the end of the movie.
Yeah, she went for like 1 or 2.
Yeah, and that was it. But I thought, okay, and then she said, "Oh yeah, if I go to visit him, I will have the chance to see the city and be around people in the university." Blah blah blah. Where was that? Because we didn't really see that. We just saw her and the guy, and the meeting in the restaurant with the other girl. But I thought maybe more struggles with that and more financial struggles, because this was a financial struggle for her as well, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know, her dad and her brother, they're kind of missing in the whole.
The parents just kind of come in and out when it's like necessary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought maybe to see more of that, like her relationship with him, the fact that she needs the money, and maybe more interviews with university or more things like that, but there were none. And what else could it be? I don't know, maybe her best friend realizing before that she was planning on applying to these Boston universities, maybe that could start like I don't know, what could it be called? Like a questioning, like a kind of like a break point for the two of them. Like, oh, so you're going to this university. What happened with our friendship? So to really go into that, but I don't know. What do you think?
I think those are really solid ideas.
Mm-hmm.
I think the fact that they wanted the reveal of whatever her secret is, first of all, the whole thing is fucking stupid. I'm sorry. But like, I mean, I've had friends in high school, and like we've always said that, like, oh yeah, we would, we'd keep in touch, etc., etc. I mean, but I would have never thought in a million years I would create this part of these rules. And like, did you not learn from the first movie? Like, those rules were stupid. You realize, and then that's why you're still dating Noah, because you're, not abiding by your own rules that you created. Like, and then you lied to your friend, and then now you're doing the same thing. So I'm not sure. And I know that they're trying to create this, like, it's not even a love triangle. It's like a 5-sided triangle or something. A polygon. A polygon love.
Yeah.
And for me, it's kind of difficult to care when it's really stupid. Rachel, like, for the longest time, just told her boyfriend, like, hey, why do you keep on ignoring me? Why do you keep on forgetting that you're supposed to go on dates with me? Don't even get me started on him. He's so stupid. Why did you, like, oh, it's so dumb. Everything is just so dumb.
Yeah.
They're trying to mount it all up together. But for me, as someone who's watching, since those are not big conflicts, I kind of don't care. It doesn't seem like they're adding up to each other, because she could have easily resolved them. if, right, and I know that this would change the tone completely, but say she went to Boston and then, I don't know, like she realized how expensive it is, whatever, and then like she decided to tell Lee, and then Lee gets upset, or like she could have, I'm not sure, instead of waiting until that point of reveal where Lee actually
He finds
saw it,
yeah,
saw it on his own, like she could have just come clean, like, oh yeah, I don't know, as a character, at least I would have liked it for her to do that, because in the first one she made the exact same mistake, and then maybe you raise the stakes about going to college and about how much she sucks, because you change one college essay and then they accept you. Like, I'm not, it's like, oh, it's so stupid. Especially because one of the ways in which she's trying to resolve this conflict is by creating another conflict with the dance thing, which is not even, like, you cannot dance like that and press on all the arrows. I used to play that, and it's not how it works. If you,
me too, I can confirm.
yes, like, because I used to do this in high school with my friend,
Mm-hmm.
and like we used to try to like look cool and everything, but if you step out of the arrows that long, you're not going to press anything, and then you're gonna lose the round anyway. It's so stupid. And I don't know, even the dad mentioned it actually in the conversation with Elle, like, hey, unless you ask for financial aids, we're not gonna be able to do that. And then she saw this dancing, like, it's a big reveal. Yes, it kind of is, but like, you can ask for a scholarship, for a financial aid, can you not? Like, if you're smart, if they like you that much, that your essay is impressive, it could have been a more impressive way for her as a character. Oh yeah, I received this financial aid from Harvard or whatever. I think that would have been a lot more neat as a storyline, because at this point there are so many things that's going on with the dance thing, and I don't think it's that important because they're basically bonding over dancing.
Yeah.
And they kind of didn't have to do that. She didn't even have to do the competition, in my opinion. They could have just like danced a few times because, like, say Lee was busy with his girlfriend, and then Elle feels like she's losing her best friend, and then the guy was there, and then she finds out that he's MVP, which is not even that big of a twist.
Yeah.
But, like, they just hang out because of that, like, naturally, instead of through the competition. That would have been a better love triangle, in my opinion. I think this is something that I remember from our class. When things appear in an organic way for the characters, it seems a lot less forced. Like the dance thing, the whole thing, I think it was very forced. That's, like, they can just start dancing, like, because she was missing Lee, and then she found a friend in him, blah, blah, blah. That would have been just as interesting. And then in the end, if they still want to develop feelings, which is possible if your boyfriend's far away, and then that would make a more convincing, like, arc, in my opinion. Because at first they were kind of fighting, right? I think that's what they're trying to say. They were fighting, and then eventually they enjoy each other's company. But I don't think it's necessary. Like, in the beginning, when she was like, do you remember in the scene where, like, she accidentally pressed the button and then it broadcasted to the whole school, and then she was
oh my god,
that was so unnecessary.
That was so cringy and so, I don't know,
right? It's unnecessary, in my opinion. Like, it's very unnecessary because it didn't,
like, what's the word, like, elaborated too, I don't know.
It's like, what did you intend for it to be? Funny? Because it wasn't funny. Like, it's embarrassing for her, sort of, but, like, it's not even that bad. And then, like, I don't know, and then their relationship became weird to me. Like, she was kind of embarrassed in front of him, but at the same time, she's kind of like, I don't know. Like, that was unnecessary, totally, because it made me confused as to how are they supposed to be with each other, in my opinion, because she's kind of like,
no, for sure, that's true.
I
agree.
I don't know, it was a weird love triangle that could be easily fixed by that, in my opinion. And they
could have met in another way, in a more organic way, like you
said.
That was
Exactly.
too, I remember the word, that was too staged to me. It was just
There
like,
you go.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
Just,
very
yeah.
safe. It's like, and I remember specifically, she got out of the bathroom and then saw the fucking poster up there.
Yeah.
Dance Mania, like $500,000. I don't
Yeah.
know. For me, it would work in a comedy. It doesn't work in a drama comedy because it's not funny. It's
Yeah.
just not funny. That's my problem with it. It's just because it wasn't funny, and we're supposed to take it seriously, but I can't take it seriously. It was kind of like the whole thing was a joke.
Yeah.
I just remembered. It's not even a polygon love triangle
Oh no,
because there's
what is
also the
it
British
then?
lady.
The what?
Because there's the black British lady, the Boston lady.
Oh, oh
So it's
my
the Boston
God.
lady, Noah,
No,
Lee, Rachel,
Marco.
yes, Marco, and so it's six. It's six people.
Oh
That's
God.
one too many. That's one too many.
Yeah.
It's. I think that's another reason why it didn't work. It was very convoluted. Like it's too.
Yeah. Too many characters to focus in. Like, like
Yeah,
you should try to maybe make it more, I don't know, limited in a way so you can be sure you are giving every character your best in
exactly.
his or her development. I don't know. What would you say it would be like a number for this relationship? Like
I
a,
mean, what we learned is that 3 is the magic number, right?
yeah,
I
exactly.
think 3. I don't know if it will work. If it will work here. I think it can still work if I don't know. Like even when the lady it's not even there. Like say the lady's not there, but you as a girlfriend you visit your boyfriend and then you see a woman's earring. Like that's
Yeah.
still suspicious. You don't have to create an extra character for her to meet, for I don't know, for her to be jealous about, for her to stalk on Instagram in order for the love
Yeah.
triangle to work, in order for her to have conflict, I think.
Mhm.
It was just unnecessary. Like just cut it to because the beginning of the story was just the 3, I think. It was the love triangle
Yeah.
between the 3. But I mean, obviously that's what they were thinking, like, oh, it's the second movie. What are we gonna do? We double it. That's what
Yeah.
they were thinking.
Add more.
Add more. And yeah, I think that's the issue. It's kind of you just kind of don't care about any of them. And because none of them are interesting, I don't know who to cut out of this 6.
But yeah, going back to the relationship
Yes.
issues with the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there are too many characters. You don't really get to know them that well, and you don't really get to worry about them enough to care really. So
Exactly.
you just get bored. And yeah, to me, I think it would have been better if reduced the amount of people involved in this
Who would you
triangle.
cut then?
I think I might. Okay, so I would leave Lee and Rachel out of the equation to other things, because I think it's just kind of messy. And I would just stick with Elle, Noah, and this Marco guy. I don't even know if the British lady might be useful here, like you
No.
said,
No.
Just like,
The British lady, no.
yeah, I don't know. So I might just work with them, I guess. And
Yeah.
I think that would have been better. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. This extra layer of conflict that they're trying to add, which is the fact that they're like far away from each other, a good reason for us to even care about this. Like, I think it would have been like, okay, scrap the story. Like, if I could just make it so that, say, what's his name? Noah. Noah goes to Harvard and then he's so busy with college, which is realistic, right?
Yeah.
Busy with college and then barely calls her, etc., etc. And then she gives him a surprise instead of him sending her the ticket. She gives him a surprise. She goes there and then she finds the earrings. That's
Yeah.
like For me, that's already a lot stronger than what they had.
Or even maybe her coming to Harvard and giving him the surprise and just seeing him with her, even, like far away or whatever, just like
Yeah,
with this girl.
yeah, exactly. Seeing him with a girl, or I mean, which could still be a friend, right? But I
Yeah.
understand how you would freak out. But that would be a lot more, I don't know, heavy on the character. It would be something that would tear you apart, right? I think that's something that was told to us as well. It needs to be gut wrenching. It needs to break your heart. It needs to be something big. And
Yeah.
none of these were big enough for her. And then she was in the dorm room, and then she was out of there. And then
Yeah.
she ignored him, and then he was like, wait, what's wrong? And then she finally
Yeah,
told, like,
you're right.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Even in the beginning, like, I remember that she was kind of like, she didn't even want to say that I miss you. She deleted that and wrote take care because she said that she didn't want to be clingy or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like, what
she
is
wanted to
that?
be mature, she
Yes,
said. But the thing is,
she wanted to be mature. Yeah, what is that?
they
What
were avoiding conflict, and that's the thing. We were missing conflict. If they would have, if she would maybe wanted to leave all those like mature, things or excuses aside, then we would have had more conflict. They would have been texting each other, or even fighting, or even calling, or trying and reaching out for each other. And I think that would have worked better. But they went with this, oh, I don't want to be clingy, I don't want to be needy, I don't want to
Yeah,
be blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you are 17 or whatever. I don't even remember.
yeah. I
It's,
mean, like, close to college age. Like, you're
yeah.
not that mature yet, but it's kind of like,
Yeah. And I think that was a problem. They
yeah,
were trying to, yeah.
because he even ended up calling the school pretending to be the dad. What was that as well? Like, to kind of resolve that conflict. That was
Mhm.
kind of out of nowhere, and then it led them into this whole like comedy bit where she was like, "Oh, hi, dad, and this. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
kind of sad. Can I go to this other room?" Like, and then the phone fell down, and it's like it was this whole thing. Like, I'm not sure. It was so unnecessary for them to
Yeah,
add
it
this whole
was.
bit.
And yeah, and for her to act like that, to pretend to be mature, to pretend like, she's not a no, a regular teenager human being
Yeah,
with
exactly.
needs. And I
Exactly.
think that would have worked better. And the thing is, I don't think she's a bad actress, I thought,
No, yeah.
to me, she was a good actress even in this. And with this Lee friend, her best friend,
Yes.
they were good between each other. I think they had the chemistry to work as best friends and everything. It's
Yeah,
just
they
the
were right.
whole story and the many, like, I guess, I don't know, potholes or just like obstacles that they couldn't really, I don't know, like add to the story to make it
Yeah.
more interesting or more, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they seem to be having fun. Like, if you watch at the end, there's like the bloopers and everything. I think as two of the main, like Lee and Elle, the actors, they're good friends, etc. But like, I kind of don't care. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
you're as good as the script that you're given, right? I think that's what they say. Like, as an actor, you can't really do much. If your script is shit, there's not much that you can do. But
You can't save it.
I mean, can we save this one? Because at some point, Lee talked to Rachel, like, oh, she's just tagging along with us all the time to our dates, etc., even with the Halloween costume, because she's alone, right? But she's not fully alone, is she? Like, she
Yeah.
still has a best friend, and it's just, I don't know, it's not urgent enough for her as a character, I think, to,
You know what I thought also, what would have been kind of interesting?
yeah.
That once all of the problems were solved and they went through this ridiculous best friend list or whatever, maybe that they would realize that in order for them to be more, I don't know, flexible and free,
Yeah.
they could just like throw away the list, like decide
Yes.
to not follow it. Just like, oh, okay, I'm trying, because that was kind of like not a toxic behavior, but not the healthiest, like
Yes.
they were at each
100%.
other. And maybe at the end, it's just like, I made this decision before, and you need to make this decision as well to go and be with Rachel or whoever it is.
Yes.
So why
Yeah.
are we following these rules? We don't need
Yeah.
these rules.
Yeah.
That would have been kind of cool to,
Yeah,
just.
I totally agree. But this whole rule thing was something that like I already didn't like since the first one, because it's just totally ridiculous. And all the conflict is based on this one thing. And what really bothered me is, like, as you said, after the first movie, they don't realize how wrong that is.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, as you said, it would have rounded it up better as them, quote unquote, transforming, because at the end of the story you would have to transform as a character, and they still stay the same. I think what they want us to kind of take away from that is like, you cannot move all your lives away for someone or something like that. Yes, true, but like, I'm not sure what you think about this, but for me, it's like, okay, it's good to think that way, but at the same time, you cannot preach about this. It's kind of like, if you're in a committed relationship with someone, and then you would, like, for me, in my case, my boyfriend, I moved to Italy, I studied in Italy, and then now we live in Italy. Like, for this character, if she's so committed to Noah, and if the conflict is that big that we see her urge to go there and it's justified or not justified even, then that's fine too. Like, you cannot preach that, like, oh, you cannot move your life away for someone because you don't know what's going to happen. Because no one knows what's going to happen. It's not a good message to give to teenagers.
But I think also the other message isn't good as well. It's like, I think for that age, you don't really know if you want to commit to that person. So I think in your case or my case, it worked because we were older. So that's the truth. We were, we knew, I guess. We went through other experiences and we knew. But with this girl, for example, sorry, in this movie, I don't know if it worked to just try to, I guess, change her life, or like you said, to preach the opposite. So I think maybe they had to not try to, I don't know, maybe not give particular, I don't know, advice on this, because they're really young. Like, how do they know?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly. But I mean, in the essay thing, she actually mentioned that she doesn't know where she's going to be in 5 years, which I think is a good message, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, no university is going to accept you if you say you don't know where you're going to be in 5 years, because it's going to feel like you don't have a plan for yourself. I'm just saying on that end. And also, I would like to highlight something that from Elle, the protagonist of this movie. I wrote it down. Listen to this. This is what she said.
Oh, I was going to say that I admire you for just wanting to be happy.
Who doesn't want to be happy? Who doesn't? Like, what kind of, what? Like, a lot of the things that she said in the movie was just problematic or makes no sense to me. Like, girl, everyone wants to be happy. Why do you admire someone for wanting to be happy? Everyone does who's rich. They still would like to be happy.
Yeah, for sure. That's true. I guess they wanted to give this contrast, right, between someone that, in a way, kind of is trying to plan her future entirely versus another person that just kind of lives every day as it comes. Which, to me,
that would have been better if they focus on that.
Too,
right?
But I think it was not also something that should be like preached about, because it's just like, to me, it was kind of like YOLO. The Marco guy, it was
The
just
Marco
like,
guy is very
yeah,
YOLO.
it's just like a big YOLO, like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to be, I don't care, blah blah. And the thing is, that's cool, you know, when you're 18, it's okay, yeah, you don't really know sometimes, but it's not that cool to be cool, I think, all the time about not knowing what you want. Do you get me? It's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, so I thought maybe that was not the best, like, she was just like, "Oh, you're so cool. I like how you want to be happy." And the thing is, like, they kind of like link being happy with not having a plan, which to me
Yes.
is
Yes.
not that cool.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that you said that, it makes sense what she said to him. Because if
Mhm.
she's confusing the fact of being happy with like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna, like YOLO and like who
Yeah.
cares, like see what happens. Like a lot of people live by that philosophy and there's nothing wrong with that. Like you want to live like a life where like you make little to no plans and like see what happens.
Yeah.
That's fine. But I think if you really wanna take that as a contrast, you put that in more. Like this is exactly what we've been saying. Get rid of Lee and Rachel, develop more of Marco, and then
Yeah.
his lifestyle and how it's interesting for Elle. She wants to adapt this because it's new, it's different. She wants to learn. I don't know. It could have been
Maybe she could try that and see how it didn't work for her or something like that,
exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That would have been a lot more interesting. Like the journey would have been different. Although I know that it wouldn't be the story that they're going for, with this like
Yeah.
complex, like not even a polygon love. I don't even know what's something with like a shape with six
6, yeah. I don't
sides. I
even
don't
know
know.
the name.
But it's just I think like for me the main takeaway for me is that these type of movies they just want to make money. Like
Yeah.
all the ideas are recycled unfortunately and they don't really care
Yeah.
about like the movie making bad ratings or getting bad um critical reviews or like bad reputations. They don't
So much
care.
so that I remember how we mentioned before this the well, not intervention, but just the role of gay character that they just put
Yes.
in. That is
Yeah.
probably like an example of how they don't really treat the story with organic, I don't know, an
Yes.
organic sense, because
Yes.
this character just appears and he
Yeah.
seems to be like a friend of Els, but at the same time, it's just like we don't see anything about him. We don't know anything about his life. We don't even know if they have been friends before this,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
and it's just like this one advice that she gives to him, and that's it. And that's just like, oh, go for it, which
That's
is
also
cool.
everything.
But
Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's not.
No.
Yeah,
Exactly. This is the same problem that we mentioned. Too many characters, and we don't care about them. We just simply
Mhm.
don't care.
Yeah,
I think it's a huge issue with this movie. Okay.
yeah. Maybe the main.
We
Yeah.
don't
Do you
care.
think it can be saved at the end? Do you think it has a chance?
Ooh,
So just to
okay.
conclude.
That is true. Do you think we saved this one?
Oh my god.
I think, okay, if they get rid of Lee and Rachel, focus on the love triangle between Noah and Marco, and then
More
contrast more
conflict
the
with,
difference.
yeah.
Yeah, the difference between him and Elle, and really focus on that. Get rid of the gay characters. Get rid of the parents that come up every now and again, or like make them significant.
Yeah, make
Or
it significant otherwise, yeah.
exactly, or don't make them there at all. And I think it would be okay. I don't know if I would save it. I
We
don't know if
just like throw it like one of those um lifeguard thingies, what I'm talking
yeah,
about? When you
yeah,
are about to drown in the water.
yes.
Yeah, I don't know if we saved it, but we give him
Yeah,
some
we
extra life.
Exactly. We kind of try to like throw the what is it called? The floaties.
Yeah.
We threw it out there, and then I don't know. They can catch it. If they did, they will
Yeah.
be saved. But all right. I think that's all for today for our conversation of trying to save Kissing Booth 2. Leave a comments if you think that we saved it or not.
What
If you
we can do to save it
yes,
completely.
exactly. If we missed anything, and if we were totally wrong and you love Kissing Booth 2, we're just totally stupid. We don't know what we're talking about. Well, anyway, that's it from us, and see you guys on the next one. Oh.